Hey guys, welcome back to the Ride Right Waxing in UK One Wheel channel. So, a gentleman called Chris has honoured me with his snowboard. I am really chuffed to be doing this one. This is a LIB Travis Rice 153, basically an awesome powder board. It's got the Union Travis Rice bindings, and I will say it is a sweet setup. Definitely going to put one of these on my bucket list, I must admit. It is awesome. Look at that profile of that tail. That is just insane. Great design to it as well. Look at the front of it. It's just awesome. Absolutely love this. Goes down through the side core as well. The colours, that Orca kind of colour. Yeah, it's just amazing. Does need a bit of a detail. We'll obviously have a deeper look at that in a second. But what I am going to do is going to take these bindings off. Just a little top tip is take a photograph, and I'm going to put the photograph of both of these bindings up on the pictures now. So we're going to put the left one up here, we're going to put the right one up here, or vice versa, your right, your left, for the simple reason, because if ever Chris has a binding that comes loose, he can just flip back into YouTube, watch his video on his service, and set them up so they are absolutely perfect, so we don't lose the angles and obviously the holes. More importantly for the Burton rail system, because obviously you've got a very fine adjustment on the Burton rail system. But yeah, what an awesome board. Really looking forward to this. We're going to get this thing absolutely dialed. What I am going to do is obviously clean up the top coat, but before we do that, I'm going to obviously put you on time lapse. We're going to take these bindings off, but again, we're going to photograph them just beforehand so we know exactly what's what. So stay tuned. Let's crack on with this Travis Rice. Right, another quick tip. If you're doing up the base plates of your bindings, try not to over tighten them. We're quite lucky with this one. Obviously this has been done up quite tight, but obviously you can see it starting to pull through. You get a tapered bolt normally that screws into the actual base of the binding. Just nip it up. Always, if you're worried about it, they normally come with blue Loctite on anyway, but would recommend putting a little bit of blue Loctite on if you are removing it a lot, obviously to take the bindings off, to move, to store, etc. But yeah, like I say, that's pulling quite a way through. But yeah, just nip them up, obviously, because you don't want that to come loose when riding, and obviously if this starts to crack, it's going to cause a problem. It's the same on both, but we'll put a little bit of blue Loctite when putting these back in, just a very small amount just to hold it in, but we won't be doing them up nowhere near as tight. Little bit of a top tip. But anyway, we're going to crack on and get these bindings off. But before doing so, another good top tip, full of them today, aren't I? When coming back from your snowboard trip, always make sure you loosen your bindings off, because obviously as the board is in the loft or in the garage or in the shed, wherever you store it, it contracts and gets hot in the summer. And obviously it can pull through when you've got this tension on these bolts quite considerably, and you get slight indentations. I've actually had it done to my Jones board, so I learnt the hard way. So just crack them off, literally, just so they're loose on the board, and that way then there's not pressure on those threads all the time for when it goes through the season change. So again, just crack them off very loosely. Don't need to take them off, just make sure they're nice and loose. But we'll check these over as well. Let's crack on and get these off. Okay, so one LIB Travis Rice. There we go. That's the badging if you're interested in buying one. Hence the logo of an Orca. Looks awesome. Really good condition actually. The rails themselves all around the side, there's no damage. We've got a little bit of a lip there. We'll just make sure we sort that out and tidy that up. I might just put a little bit of epoxy in that and just push that down opposed to cutting it off, because I don't really want to do that. Got some glue residue just there, so I'll get some cleaning solution, tar and glue on that and get all that off. I think that's where the original sticker was. We've got a bit of a stomp pad, which is quite cool, gone for a nice see-through one. But let's flip this bad boy over. So what's the bottom of this board like? A little bit dry, got a bit of wax build up just on the base here, but we can get rid of that. Rails are in very good condition. We've got that parabolic kind of rocker, wavy edge rather. Yeah, really good. A little bit of a burr on there, so we'll just tidy the rails up and just sharpen them up. But lovely, the rail stops at the top, proper like powder board. Just tidy that little bit up just there. And again, onto this rail this side. Not too bad. No real PTEX. It's got to be laid down, which is good. A couple of nicks just there, but again, I will survey that when we clean the base. But yeah, very, very good. But again, as you can see, very, very dry. Now, I will do a before and after on this board, so you can see the dryness, and we'll get some depth and colour. There's quite a bit of dead material on there that we need to get rid of as well. So we're going to get this looking absolutely mint. Looking forward to doing this one. Right, let's pop you in the stand. Let's crack on. Let's get the edges nice and sharp, and then from the edges, we're going to work on that base. Here we go. Right, we've given this top coat a really good polish. We've taken that sticky label off, so there's no glue there now. So when the snow hits this, it should repel for the best ability possible. However, as I do at Ride Right Waxing, I go a little bit OTT with stuff. And we've got a little nick here, just there. And this is such a lovely top coat. Most people just cut that out and be done with it. Because obviously if this catches, it could rip and do more damage, and also moisture can get in here and then start to blister the top part of the cover. So what I'm going to do is some -30 epoxy, actually some Gorilla epoxy. This stuff's really, really good. Mix a little bit up. I'm going to use my hairdryer. I'm going to put some in here, and then I'm going to sandwich it down. Bit of non-stick sticky paper over the rail, and then we're going to clamp it. But not clamping the metal clamp directly to the board because it will damage it. Just 2 little plastic spatulas either side, just to hold a bit of pressure and a bit of, obviously, weight on that. I won't use these ones, actually. I will use some flat ones. And just squeeze that in so it's nice and tight, and then we'll razor blade that off, and then I'll get on to waxing the bottom of it, and I'll leave this to dry for an hour or so. So let's pop you on time lapse, and let's just get some epoxy underneath here, and make sure this is ready and doesn't cause any further damage. So let's crack on. Okay, so that's now all set. We basically have warmed this up so it's nice and warm, so that epoxy is runny, so it runs into the actual crack itself of that top coat, sealing it. And then when that dries, we'll pull all this off, and then we'll get on and wax the base of the board. So yeah, you'll see me in a second. Always a good tip is to leave your spatula with the epoxy on, because when that is dry, as you can already see, when that is dry, you know that is dry. And if you give it an extra 15-20 minutes, it's always a good measurement. So leave that to go for the minute, and we'll see you in a sec. Okay, so let's have a quick look. This has been sat now for quite a few hours. I've actually gone off and done some shopping to let this really cure. The stick is perfectly on there, as you can tell, ripping that off. So let's undo these clamps. Let's have a quick look. Oh, look at that. Right, let's pop you in my hand. I'll give you a close-up. So there we are. You can see that very faint line. We've got no epoxy on top of the top coat. We've got very little on the side, which is just there, which I'll get a Stanley knife. But that is all nice and sealed. So again, a little bit OTT maybe, but why not get that top coat down? It's not going to catch, and you've got perfect finish now. And the rest of this top coat, if we zoom out, is looking great. All polished, detailed. That sticky bit has all been removed. We've got a high shine on that, so this will help repel a bit of water. So not just do we work on the base coat, but we work on the top coat. The rails themselves have come up absolutely lovely. We've got the Grip Tech technology, which are these wavy bits you see just here. And those bits there, I've got full contact. This is my nail, and that's no pressure whatsoever. These rails are super sharp now and super polished. So, time to work on the base. Let's go. Here we go. Right, LIB Orca, basically straight out the hot room into this cold room. It's been sat here for about an hour to get that wax nice and hard. Got to use multitude of scrapers. We've got the Toco scraper sharpener. We'll run those through there, making sure all the edges of these are absolutely tip top. I've got a multitude of brushes to polish this board up to make sure it looks awesome. We're going to have the before and after, so do stay tuned to check that out. I always love that bit because you can see how much work's gone into it and how much more the board has improved, and then it's ready to hit those slopes. More importantly, with this board, the powder. So, and then we'll wrap it all up, give it back to Chris. He's going to love it. He's going to have a great time. Everyone's happy, and I just love doing this. So guys, stay tuned. I'm going to pop you on time lapse. We're going to get this scraped off. We're going to get it brushed and polished with these bad boys. And yeah, this thing's going to be ready to fly. Ooh, I love this bit. Let's crack on. Wow, so this Travis Rice has come up awesome. This Orca is absolutely tip top. From the tip of the nose to the tail, this thing is shiny. Very, very shiny. Very, very fast. The edges are dialed in. We've removed all those burrs. We've even sorted out that top coat where it was just peeling up a little bit of epoxy in there. Clamp that down. That is not going to cause any issues ever again. And yeah, really, really pleased. Like I say, one awesome board. I am so pleased to have a Travis Rice come across my bench and have the honour of waxing it, because there's so much work that goes into these things. I just appreciate all the effort from the person that designs it, the people that actually make it, and obviously to people that ride it. So guys, thank you very much indeed for watching. Don't forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share this video with all your friends, because if you're in the Devon area and you want your skis or your snowboard done, then why not hook me up? I will quite happily broadcast your skis and snowboard on my channel, and you can see exactly what goes into them, and you can see exactly how shiny they become. So you know you get value. I am so chuffed with this board. It is going to be awesome. So guys, thanks for watching, and guess what? We'll see you soon.